As a human rights activist and a human rights lawyer, actually I am very much concerned about the issue involved here. That is, number one, regarding the general human rights violations pertaining to the interstate migrant workers, especially from West Bengal, Odisha, and other parts of the country. And specifically in the recent times, the atrocities committed on the women and girls are on the rise. A couple of weeks ago, a girl who had been come here in search of alleged to be in search of her boyfriend was gang raped by 4 people, and the issue was not at all covered enough in the mainstream media, and the girl is still in a prison-like situation in the medical college Calicut. Soon after the incident, the girl was taken to the government hospital Kalashiri, and after a couple of days, she was again shifted to the government hospital Kannur. And several political organizations as well as women's organizations got intervened, and it was in the media for a while. After that, it died out slowly. It was in such a situation that a group of women under the guise of Women's Collective in Malayalam we call it Trikutaima had gone to that place like a couple of weeks ago. Actually, by the time we reached there was something under the smoke screen we have felt. We were not even permitted to meet the girl. We were made to wait for a couple of hours under the guise of the absence of superintendent and RM is not available, something like that. But we were also equally adamant that we are going to get some information from the bystanders or from the girl themselves. So we waited there very patiently, and ultimately the DYSP contacted the concerned police officers, and only one among us, that is myself, because I'm a lawyer. So as a lawyer, I was permitted to meet that bystander alone. And fortunately with us we had a translator who was working in Bengal also. So he also accompanied me. And both of us met with a distant relative of the girl, and it was some 20 minutes conversation with that relative. So we have realized one thing, that the girl was not even given proper food at that time, and the girl was hungry. Number two, the promised 25,000 rupees as an interim compensation was not at all given. And the girl was mentally traumatic, in a highly traumatic situation. And the RMO has told us that the girl is not at all physically very much sick. But we had a glimpse of the girl through the door, and what I had felt that the girl was not even 17 years old. She was a child, and she was having both physical and mental problems, maybe out of the gang rape committed on her. And the total helplessness from the part of the girl and her relatives for getting imprisoned. It's kind of imprisonment for them, a strange place, a strange language. So they were eager to go back. So we felt that if the girl is gone back without fulfilling the legal obligations when a complaint is launched at the police station, we thought it would affect the case deleteriously, adversely. So whatever we have seen, we couldn't meet the police, and the police was not at all friendly with us. Soon after our meeting with the girl and the relative, actually we were permitted to meet the relative only. We unofficially met the girl, but we couldn't talk with the girl. After talking with the relative, we convened a press conference, and we put forward 3 demands. That is, one is regarding a scientific counseling, because at that time the counseling was being given by a counselor who was not at all well versed in Bengali. So that was fruitless. It was not worthy. So we demanded a scientific counseling to the girl, and immediate proper food at the expense of the state, and the promised interim compensation of 25,000 rupees. So we were told subsequently that soon after our press conference, the amount was given to the girl, and thereafter her medical and food expenses were met by the government. And we offered our help to the police, because we had a very excellent translator with us, and we offered our help, and the police was also willing to avail our help. And after a week, we were supposed to go to the girl again, and we were told that the test identification period of the girl will be taken first. Initially we were told like that, then they said no, it's not possible because the girl's mental situation is not okay. Then the two other injured witnesses, they were actually manhandled before raping the girl. So those two alleged relatives, test identification panel was conducted, and they had identified the accused that we were told. And this girl, everything concerning the girl was not at all transparent. I'm not talking about the veracity of the girl is to be released or the name of the girl. It's not like that. Whether the girl is perfectly okay physically as well as mentally. Regarding that, the authorities are not at all giving us a proper reply. And when we were expected to go to the magistrate court, Matanur, to record, to observe the girl's giving statement to the magistrate, we were planning to go to Matanur last Saturday. But we contacted the police. The translator had contacted the police, and there was no response from the police at all. But we got the translator got an SMS. Sorry, the government has engaged another translator, but we didn't get any particulars about who is the translator, but why the girl is not being taken to the magistrate court. So because she was not at all mentally fit to give evidence to the or statement to the magistrate, and all of a sudden there is no consistency. Soon after getting us this reply, the girl was shifted to Medical College Calicut in the morning on the very same day. And we inquired the situation of the girl at Calicut, and we were told that the girl is at a deluxe room, again in the pay ward, and there is a panel of people, experts to take care of the girl. That's the situation so far. I feel that regarding the investigation, regarding the booking of the culprits and the trial and all these things, there are a lot of loopholes at present. Normally, a girl from Kerala herself has to face very grave situations to face the trial when she is a victim of sexual harassment or rape. For a girl from a different place, a stranger here, a migrant laborer's relative, it would be tenfold or hundredfold difficult to face the trial and to prosecute the accused. I think as a human rights lawyer, what I have felt and still I am feeling is that the girl may not get a proper trial, a proper prosecution, prosecuting the accused hearing, because there are so many stumbling blocks. Because from giving a first information to the police after registering the crime, then the police has to conduct the investigation, and then the charge is to be filed before the concerned magistrate court, and there should be a trial, and then comes the verdict, and different stages in finally prosecuting the culprits, the accused. So the paramount thing in such a case, whether it is this girl's case or any other case of the victim, at every stage adequate and sufficient protection is to be granted to the victim as well as the witnesses. Then only the trial will be loopholed. Then only the accused can be prosecuted, convicted by the court. In the present case, what I have felt is that since the girls and family are planning to go back to their state, that means even if a farcical trial may go on, there is all the likelihood that the accused can be gone scot-free. And the girl and the other witnesses are not at all granted enough protection. They are roaming around. And there is also a chance of tampering with the evidence also, because there is nobody who could help them at the grassroots level in this case. Had it been a Malayali girl, it would have been a bit different. There must have been a lot of activities or civil society participation more than this. But I have felt it's a dismal picture that this girl is not at all getting enough media attention from the human rights and other activists. And it is not even a central debate point also in Kerala. Kerala is supposed to be the model state regarding the women's rights, then education, on so many aspects. Our state is considered as a model state. But regarding this girl's case, it's giving us a dismal picture. So what I think is that the girl's home state, Bengal, all kind of attention is to be granted to the girl, including media attention, then the intervention and involvement of the human rights activists And the different instrumentalities of the state, the Human Rights Commission, Vanida Commission, then the State Department, Home Department. I think they are citizen after all. So whatever is being done from Kerala, I think the girl will be benefited more. What's being done from her native state. So I think some kind of dissemination of information and networking in between the human rights and women's activists in Kerala as well as West Bengal. It is the need of the hour. And as a human rights activist, as a women's rights activist, I think I'm extending my wholehearted support and all kind of allegiance in the case of this.